What's up? I'm going to be going through every champion in the UFC, telling you guys which ones are going to have their belt by 2020 and which ones are going to lose it. First of all, let's get rid of the females. We start with Jessica Andrade. I think she's going to lose her belt to Weili Zhang. Weili Zhang's an absolute savage. She's a big strawweight, and Chinese girls don't play around. You know what I'm saying? Robotic. She's going to destroy Jessica Andrade, and by destroy, I mean boring decision over 5 rounds. Andrade loses her belt. Moving on, Shevchenko. I mean, unless she leaves it behind at a McDonald's, she'll never lose her belt because there's no one in that shit division to ever possibly have any chance of threatening her for the belt other than maybe a one-legged cyborg that she had to chop it off to make weight. That's the only way I can see this going on. You know what I'm saying? Shevchenko's going to keep her belt. Moving on to Nunes. She's got Durandamy at the end of the year. I feel like she'll beat Durandamy quite handily. You know? If Durandamy was scared to fight Cyborg, imagine how she's going to feel about the girl who beat Cyborg. Okay? I feel like Nunes makes light work of Durandamy. It's a good fight, but I feel like Nunes keeps her belt and proves herself once again as the greatest female fighter of all time. And one of the greatest of all time, regardless of gender. Okay? Moving on to the flyweight division. Henry Cejudo. Let's do flyweight and bantamweight here. I feel like Henry's going to half lose his belt at bantamweight, and by that I mean they're definitely going to do an interim title fight. I guarantee you they do an interim title fight at bantamweight. They're not going to be waiting around that long without any titles on the line at bantamweight for Henry Cejudo to beat Benavidez. Who knows, he might get injured there and then come back to bantamweight. They're going to make an interim title at bantamweight, but as for flyweight, I think Cejudo definitely keeps his belt at flyweight. I don't think Benavidez is going to beat him. I actually think that Cejudo may have had a good claim to the win in their first fight. It could have gone either way. As you know, it was a split decision. But then Benavidez, age is not on his side. And although he looks quite good, I feel like the advantage that he had in the first fight against Cejudo was his striking. And now that Cejudo's striking has gotten Lyoto, like a fucking dwarf Lyoto Machida style kind of striking, I feel like he's going to have a much better chance against Benavidez, and I think he's going to keep his flyweight belt. His bantamweight belt, he won't defend it, but it'll be made into an interim title between maybe Aljamain Sterling versus Frankie Edgar, Aljamain Sterling versus Piotr Jan versus Corey Sandhagen. One of these two guys are definitely going to be fighting for the title, and then maybe we'll see Edgar versus Faber at 135. Make it happen. Featherweight, Max Holloway keeps his belt. I think they're going to be doing him versus Volkanovski at the end of the year. I'd love to see it at UFC 245 in Las Vegas. That would be a great card. If they can stack 3 belts on that card, they've got Nunes versus Durandamy, Holloway versus Volkanovski. They can make that card a nice little saucy one, a nice juicy one with a nice Covington versus Usman at the top of it. That would be a good one. I think Holloway is going to get past Volkanovski. I feel like Holloway versus Edgar is one of the worst Holloways we've ever seen because he's coming back down to 45 on short notice, and he didn't look in as good a shape that he's normally in. I'll be honest with you guys. If you look at Holloway's body at 45 after he went to 55, he wasn't in as good a shape as he normally is at 45. So now I think now that he knows he's at 45 and he knows he's fighting Volkanovski, his body's going to adapt to it. He's going to be in perfect shape. And I think Volkanovski, although he's the most dangerous guy for Holloway, I think Holloway's going to get past him barely. And I think it's going to be a war. But listen, Volkanovski, all the talk is that he's got cardio and pace for 3 rounds. That's not where Holloway does his work. You can go for 3 rounds. A lot of guys at featherweight can go for 3 rounds. Can you go for 4 and 5 at a pace like Holloway's? I don't think Volkanovski can. I think if Volkanovski's going to win, he's going to have to catch Holloway on the chin and put him out. I don't see that happening. I think Holloway keeps his belt. Moving on to lightweight. I think Khabib loses to Poirier. Alright? And if he doesn't lose to Poirier, then he'll lose to Ferguson at the end of the year. I am going to get shit and death threats for this from Khabib's fans, because that's Khabib's fans. And I think he loses to Poirier. Come get me. I think a lot of people are overlooking Poirier. I think this is the toughest test of Khabib's career so far, if you count his last 2 fights for Al Iaquinta, who was ranked number 11 at the time, and Conor McGregor, who was just busy fucking dealing with the elderly and took 2 years off without wrestling, getting drunk every night. I think Poirier puts it to Khabib and actually has a damn good performance and may even win. I'm betting you that Khabib will not have his belt by the end of the year. There you go. I'll wait for the comments now and the dislikes. You've already done the comments. I don't mind. Khabib loses his belt, alright? He loses it, alright? Just get over it, okay? It happens. Guys lose. No one gets out undefeated. Ask John Jones. Matt Hamill. His kryptonite was Matt Hamill. Would you believe it? John Jones, this beast. Everyone thought John Jones was a beast. All of a sudden, Matt Hamill comes along, invents a new technique of headbutting the elbow. No one's ever seen it before. And John Jones can't take it anymore and he gives up. You know what I'm saying? There's guys for guys that are undefeated. There's always an answer. And I think that Poirier's going to be that answer. He's game as fuck. Alright? Moving on to welterweight. Usman's going to lose his belt to Colby. He will lose it. He'll lose it. Usman's going to lose it to Colby. A lot of people talk about, oh, Usman's got good cardio. No, he doesn't. Usman's got good strength. And he can hold you in a position for a very long time if you're like Woodley and are 1 foot out of the game because you've got all of this other stuff going on and you don't care about winning anymore. I saw a Woodley who looks like he didn't give a fuck and was just trying not to get knocked out and getting his payday and leaving the sport. You know what I'm saying? And he had an injured hand in that fight, so that might have been a reason as well. I think Usman's very good. Can he go at a pace like Colby's? Because one thing that Usman has never had to deal with is a guy shooting for him. Alright? Colby's got a good chin. He's got fucking wicked pace. Twice the pace of Usman, by the way. A lot of people talk about, oh, Usman went 5 rounds with Woodley at his pace. Okay? He held Woodley against the fence and did nothing. How many times does that fight get separated? You know what I'm saying? Because Usman was genuinely just holding Woodley against the fence and doing nothing. Colby's not doing that. He's working a different pace. If Usman's got Colby on the fence, Colby's going to be looking for a single, double, single, back again. Fucking body lock, take him down. Like, he's going to be doing so many different shits. And I think Usman isn't going to be able to hang with it. And I think Colby's going to get the decision win. I think he loses the first 2 rounds, wins the last 3 rounds. Usman can't run because of his leg. He's going to suffer for it. Alright? He's going to suffer, and he's coming off injuries. Usman loses his belt. Moving on to middleweight, Whittaker wins. I think he KOs Israel Adesanya in the first 2 rounds. I really do. A lot of people think that Izzy's got the answer. I don't know, that Gastelum fight, man. If Gastelum can get in there and land those combos on you, and land a head kick on you, I feel like Whittaker's going to do it with twice the speed and twice the power, and with a little bit more size on him as well. And arguably, better striking defense, because Gastelum is known to rely on his chin a little bit. You know, he relies on his chin. And when it's gone, it's gone. And you saw that in the 5th round, when you can no longer rely on your chin. And I think that Whittaker doesn't rely on his chin. Okay? He's got a solid chin. And if Yoel Romero can't knock out Whittaker with vicious overhands, I don't think Israel Adesanya is going to be able to. And I think Whittaker KOs him in the first 2 rounds. Israel Adesanya is going to be leaning back with his chin in the air, trying to dodge something. And Whittaker's going to hit him with the Masvidal till, double advance, left hook, gagoosh. Israel out cold. Whittaker keeps his belt. Alright? Moving on to light heavyweight. Jones won't be fighting at light heavyweight. I hope he goes to heavyweight and fights Miocic. That's the fight I want to see right now. I don't want to see him at light heavyweight anytime soon. And if he does stay at light heavyweight, he'll be fighting fucking Blachowicz. Oh my god, my alarm. Never mind. We're back. Sorry if I scared you there. That really fucking scared me for a second. And if he does stay at light heavyweight, he'll be fighting Blachowicz anyway, so who gives a fuck? He'll definitely win. Blachowicz is dangerous, but Jones will get that win if they do fight. So, Jones keeps his belt. Heavyweight, Miocic probably won't be fighting this year, so he'll keep his belt. There you go. That's all of them. Any other belt? Oh yeah, the bad motherfucker belt. The baddest motherfucker in the game. Masvidal. Nate Diaz is going to lose that belt to Masvidal, I think. You know? I think Nate Diaz definitely loses that belt to Masvidal. The bad motherfucker title is, you know, it's the most contested title in UFC history. Nate Diaz putting it on the line against Jorge Masvidal. I think Masvidal stiffens him up. Gives him that fucking Cuban Jesus. 1, 2, maybe even a 5-piece. You know what I'm saying? Because Nate Diaz can take it. So he might even have to go up to a 5-piece. But I think Masvidal's going to take that belt. And that's the most important belt, of course. See you guys later. Like and subscribe. Let me know. Do you disagree? I know you're going to. A lot of guys are going to disagree, especially with the Khabib one. I think he loses to Poirier, alright? I think Poirier's being way overlooked. And I think as much as Khabib's telling us he's not overlooking him, If you have to tell people that you're not overlooking your opponent, you're overlooking him. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. We got a fucking good end of the year. We got a good 4 months ahead of us, boys. Alright? 4 months and like 2 weeks ahead of us. And we're going to have some fun. These belts are going to be on the line. And some will lose them. See you later. Click that there. Goodbye.